Yeah, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Yo, yo.
Hey, what's up, boys and girls? We are live. We are live on X. We are live on Spaces. We are doing this all over again because it was so damn much fun last night, right? So we're doing this again.
Good evening. Good evening. I already saw faces that we had last night. Wow. Come on, guys. I guess like I said, these people were waiting for us, man.
I'm telling
Thank you for having you guys. We have some good stuff for you tonight.
Yeah, man. 5 people jumped in right away. This is awesome. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna get this started. If anybody wants to pop in and just we're just gonna. I guess we can just get it all started. Start sharing a little bit and start speaking up. Give yourself a little bit of 12 minutes to how's everybody's days is going. I guess.
Yeah, I had a good time last night. A lot of good conversations. Met a lot of people. I appreciate anybody who friended me. I friended you guys back.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having being part of the community, right? Very, very good. Yeah, so what we got going on here right now is we just started streaming on X. I opened it up. We've already got somebody. Christopher 6, man, says, what's up, man? Good evening. Bethany here, already on X streaming. So I expect we're going to have a good night tonight. I think it's going to be a good one. We're continuing our conversation last night about the Hells Angels going to Aurora, Colorado. Excuse me. And there's some more information. We've got apparently them teaming up with the Mongols. And I don't know if you know much about the Mongols, but they are apparently a motorcycle group that's pretty badass, right?
But when I don't know much about either group, but I know as much as when two groups gets together, that means business. So for tonight, we're gonna probably use the same as the last night. Anybody that wants to come and speak, raise your hand. We'll bring you up. Come and talk with us, and we want to hear what you have to say, your opinion, your good words. And
is my mic working good? I want to make sure it's a new one. So.
Oh, it sound crisp and pretty sound. 10 on 10, man.
Great, right on. I just wanted to make. It's actually not a new one. I just don't ever use the microphone part. I always use the headphones. So, anyway, nice to talk to you guys.
Oh, I did hear something about like someone was saying that like somebody's family member that lived in these apartment complexes could be part of these motorcycle groups have family members or friends or people that are now being affected, and that is why they're showing up. That is why they're involving themselves, because of family members and friends that are now enveloped in this problem.
So I'm really looking for posts kind of confirming the sizes and the amount of people going. And I appreciate you, Truth. Slinger, good to see you again, Kenny, and everybody else that was on last night. Really appreciate it. Do we have posts that we can kind of slate as evidence that this is how many people are going? These are the groups that are meeting up and kind of where?
We have confirmation. What I've heard is we know which Venezuelan gang is there. The police, what I've looked from like the Denver newspaper, the police are trying to say that they know that their gangs are living in the area, but they're not confirming that those
Well,
gangs are actually controlling the building. Like the police, like in the news media, are trying to avoid panic, so they're
well,
covering it up.
I'm more asking Kenny about the biker gangs.
Yeah,
Right?
well, what's
Or,
okay?
or
Well,
MCs.
here's one thing. Okay, like when you have people that are allegedly, associated with those groups that are gonna post stuff like that online that can cause a massive panic.
Yeah,
Those people will not be trying to set up a hoax, okay? Because the thing is not like, oh, they're gonna come and arrest you and bring you to jail. No, these people will come, and get you, and like, let's just stop there.
plus I've seen a lot of people talking, just trolling, saying the Italian mafia is on its way to Aurora, Colorado, and the Chinese or the Chinese, mafia is on its way. Just making jokes about it. So I don't know. I know the Hell's Angels. As far as I know, there are, a number of them headed that way, and the Mongol thing. This is the second time I've heard that. So
Do you have like accounts that we can follow that track that or that we know are members?
I'm looking right now. I have people that just have posted random stuff. I haven't really shared too much of it because I wasn't sure since yesterday.
Yeah, we'll have. I think Tim has some people too, some researchers on this stuff. I also have some people that should be coming and speak later on. That they have some information about some stuff. I don't want to speak for them. I want them to come and give the information more accurately. But be patient, and that's why we're doing this. We want people to come here. So I encourage every single one of you to share this, and if you can repost it and just say, hey, anybody's got information, come in that space, come and share it with us. We want to hear the truth.
Here's a video from it's from 18 hours ago, but it's from Average Normal Guy, and
you can post it on the bottom right, that little chat button thing. You can post it there.
Yeah. Hey, let me jump in here real quick. Right, Righteous, your mic is great. Unfortunately, it's about like 1,000 decibels too high. You're blowing the shit out of me over here. So turn your volume down, your mic volume down a little bit, or back off your mic a little bit, and you don't have to be right on top of it, right? So
it's a headset mic, so I'm trying to get the volume.
Yeah. If you can go into your Windows and adjust your volume down a little bit, because you're just about 50% higher than everybody else, and it's just you're blowing us out. So, and I'm just an audiophile, so I'm real sensitive to this shit. I'm riding a mic and a headset all day. So, I've been keeping an eye on this. We're talking about 20 to 25 Hell's Angels that started out. And, of course, what's happening is it's kind of starting to grow like the truckers' convoy. And so there are people picking up along the road. The videos that I've seen are, they're not dated videos. They're clearly videos that make references to what's currently going on. And now the whole thing about the Mongols was something that we had heard. It's more of a rumor at this point. But I do know we've done a little research, and they're a pretty rough and tumble kind of gang there, right? We do have some preliminary information, and I haven't been able to get a second on this, but that literally police in Aurora are walking off the job. Okay, so they're saying we are not going to confront whatever is coming with the Hells Angels. So that's kind of what I know. And so, part of the Spaces thing is that this is a very organic news network. This is actually not a top-down news network. This is a new news network that is actually created that is organic. And so when we come on, sometimes we report this is what we know. Sometimes we're trying to find out what it is everybody else knows. And hopefully we'll know more tonight. And hopefully Joshua will show back up tonight.
Yeah, I sent him a message. I haven't heard of him yet. No, definitely, people. Like we are sharing the news as we hear it, and we are here to debunk it as it goes. So we invite you all. Oh, I see Christopher is here. Yes, awesome. And Christopher, awesome. Here's my friend researcher.
Is that volume better? I apologize.
Yeah, a little bit hot, but you're much better.
All right, I got you.
I'd like to say welcome to Christopher here. Tim, meet Christopher.
Hey, Chris, how are you? It's good to have you in the Spaces today.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, man, how's it going, guys? I've got a few few numbers from on the ground. I know some members of the clubs that are being talked about. One definite is Sons of Silence, which does have a big presence in Denver and throughout a lot of the upper western states from Washington, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho down. They're expecting a presence of 500 plus. And as far as the Angels go, the word coming out of MC81, which is the home club for the Angels, they're expecting 2,200 to be on the highway. How many actually come into Aurora is completely up for grabs at the moment, but they expect 2,200 to be on the road coming from the Pacific Coast.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm not quite sure that they have a strategy figured out. We've got a comment right over on X where we're broadcasting live that said, Bethany says, I saw a comment earlier saying that they actually had some friends that know some people who are in it and stated that they had no intention of going to Colorado, but it's all TV scene, right? No confirmation. So we've got some skeptical people out there whether this is even, actually happening or whether this is something as an internet phenomenon.
Well, Truth, that's kind of where I was starting and kind of wanted to have an evidence-based conversation around what we've seen and heard because, some folks are reporting that rollout video that came out, I think it was last night, was a scene from last year or the year before. So I do want to make sure that we keep our wits about us in this world of misinformation and lies.
Well, I appreciate that, and we definitely don't want to be guilty over here of creating truth or, spreading things that we don't know for sure. So we try very much to say, whether we have things confirmed or not. Again, I said, hopefully Joshua will be here, and that's why I like to see the people that are on there that are on the ground that know something. And the great thing is, in the modern day of the internet, you just put Aurora, Colorado into something, right? And you say Hells Angels, and all of a sudden people that live there start to get attracted into the space, which is exciting.
Yeah, and also I want to make sure to remind everyone that we are not inciting to any violence. We wish that all of this we can be resolved with by speech and not bullets.
Governor,
but we are also thankful to whoever is going to go and take care of the issue. And we totally have respect and support, but hopefully nobody gets hurt, and we can, America can get this land back.
Sounds like you're kind of one foot on one side of the line, 1 foot on the other there, Crow.
Well, I have a lot of respect for the bikers, but I also I want to say I understand that there's so much police officers out there, that they wish to do their job, but they can't do their job alone. And as we heard, I don't know if it's true, but apparently the handlers of that, I'm trying to find out the Te Guevara cartel, anyway, the gang is there, have been told that they can shoot cops. So is it true? Is it not true? But as if I was a police officer, I would probably not try to take a guess, without going there by myself.
I mean, in my opinion, somebody talked about the police potentially walking off the job. Well, in my opinion, they've already walked off the job for all of Aurora,
Yeah,
Colorado. You know,
Yeah, if they're not going there, they walked off the job. Yeah, definitely. They'll arrest people that are speeding, 60 in a 50 zone. But
exactly.
well, I mean, citizen, the video that we've saw it online. That's one thing I know for sure. The citizen that like the door cam that we seen, those people are kicked in. From my understanding, after that video was taken, shots were fired in the apartment that was the door was opened. Since then, that person, I'm not going to name drop him here anyway, I'm not remembering, has moved out. So no other information has been done for that. But that person that was in that apartment that recorded it has moved out. So far, I think our friend Joshua confirmed last night that two people has died in a result of gunfire and they were not gang members. Apparently, they were actual American citizens or residents of those buildings. So that's as far as I know, not actual confirmation. I haven't checked it for myself. We're still waiting to get a chance to have people on the ground that can tell us more. Joshua has family there. I think he said he's about, in a few blocks area from there. So,
Well, I think somebody posted the other day of a Toyota Tacoma or Tundra. I can't remember what kind of pickup it was. That was all shot up in the middle of the night, and they came out to a truck with a side full of bullet holes.
yeah, that was in Aurora, right?
Yep.
Well, it's not.
So I mean,
good.
this is getting real, people. I mean, it's coming close to home, right?
It's not good when the police have abdicated their responsibility and stepped aside. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we've seen at Chaz Chop. This is the kind of stuff we've seen, in Minnesota. This is just, we keep seeing it over and over. And what happens is, we saw it back in the Watts riots, right? When the National Guard stood down. And when it stopped was finally when they changed the rules of engagement and they said, you know what, if they're a threat, you can shoot them. And four guys took a car and ran toward the National Guard and they engaged. 4 people got shot. Riot over. Right? And that's where we just fail to give people consequences. And like I said, I'm not advocating violence, not necessarily by the citizenry, but we can't just let this go on. You just can't have law and order go on, or law and order be tossed to the side and all this nonsense go on unchecked.
You got to get the governor involved.
Yes. I agree. How do you do that?
I have some breaking news here for you, some live video. Hang on just a second.
There we go.
Oh, you're gonna put in the purple pill there for us, Christopher?
Yeah, I'm going to put it up for everybody to see.
Thanks, man. You're awesome.
This is just happening as we're speaking.
If the governor doesn't get involved, the first thing you got to do is coordinate the people, because this will turn into a bloodbath. Then they'll have to call up the National Guard, and everybody's going to end up dead.
Yeah.
Well, they already should have called the National Guard, in my view. I mean, when we have an outside cartel, is what I would call this, foreign cartel. That's a foreign entity on American soil.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like when they start writing Venezuela on the top of the building, it's like what they're claiming American land as Venezuelan land now.
If the local people will respond, and basically they can force the governor of that state and the mayor of their town basically to call the National Guard. If they don't do it, that's on their ass. You don't want these people clashing in your neighborhood. People are going to end up dead on both sides. It's a shame. It's got to be quelled. And all you have to do is contact your mayor, put the pressure on him, and basically light a fire underneath his ass.
Oh yeah, Chris.
Well, someone in chat's right. Just someone in chat says this could be the spark, to get the martial law, and that's one thing that I've been saying for a long time. Like why does our government let crime increase so much? Why do they don't do anything? Like if I go to my neighbor and I punch him in the face, I will get charged. I will go to.
Yep.
But people are coming in our countries and they do things. Like they were the biggest gold heist in Canada this year at Toronto Pearson. There were about 12 people involved, and I'm not trying to say anything bad, but none of them were named John Smith. Okay, none of them had anything similar to John Smith. Okay, so that being said, none of them looked like a milk crate eater like me. So,
Tim, if the people don't speak up in that local, and if in contrast to what you said, Kenny, I believe 100%. Could this go to martial law? It won't. This is a localized thing. It's not spread across the United States. But having said that, if the people will light a fire underneath the mayor's ass, then the mayor lights a fire underneath Gavin Newsom, the governor of Colorado. This guy is another Gavin Newsom. All people have to do is light a fire, get the people out there to send the Hells Angels home, and basically deport these migrants and start rounding them up, literally rounding them up within buses. That will stop it.
We need to make shit flow uphill. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
Truth,
right,
man.
what you're saying. We need to make shit flow uphill, right? You need to put pressure, because locally these people are more accessible than the governor. You can't
Bingo.
just drive across the country, but when you're on the mayor's porch, or not on his property but surrounding his house, right, in a completely non-threatening way, I mean,
Just go to
May
his
I speak?
office. All you have to do is go to his office and file. Get about 5,000 people from the local territory in their neighborhood and say, Mayor, light a fire underneath your ass. If you don't, we're going to go straight to the governor. Yeah. This is not going to be good at all. The Hells Angels should not be going over there. Period. I don't give a shit what they say. They want to protect the people. That's good. You do not want to have this escalate, and the Hells Angels are escalating it.
AC, may I speak?
Yeah, go
Truth,
for it,
may I
man.
speak?
Go for it.
All right. So in 2003, Lewiston, we had a big problem with the local natives of Lewiston dealing with the Somalian.
Oh my God!
That came, a long time ago. But this is not that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just letting you know. So the neighborhood people got in this big fight. But what we didn't know, there was two different tribes out of the Somalis, and this had nothing to do with us native people, because of the government just putting bombs in places and starting shit and then bringing new people over. This is Clinton shit that we had to deal with. It's part of my language. Now, meanwhile, it was a big, huge breakout in a war, kind of similar to what's going on right now, except there wasn't guns and AK-47s. However, it took a long time to understand that we don't know what the hell is going on. And at the end of the day, it's the people in power that keep putting us that are on this chat talking to each other, and these guys don't give a goddamn about us. Talk to your mayor, talk to who? They're all bought and paid for. I mean, we need the people on this chat to run for mayor. That's what we need. Real people.
Boss, not all of them are bought and paid for, but you got to pick the good ones. Pick out the good ones and light a fire underneath their ass.
I understand that, but lighting a fire, we're talking about like inventing the wheel over again.
No shit.
You know what I mean?
No
it's crazy.
Shit.
I'm 43.
I'm
a single father living in rural Maine. You know what I mean? I put crazy posts on here every now and then. I probably sound like I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm a straight white boy from Sanford, Maine, born in Goodall Hospital.
Well, you clearly don't sound like you're from Canada, boy. I like what you said, man. It's people like us. Yeah. You want my maple syrup, eh? I'm sorry.
That ain't bacon. I'll just let you know right now. That ain't bacon.
No, but I like what you said, man. Yeah, no, people like us, your mayor was someone like you before, and the only difference is because he stood up and he took the chance to go into office, and
we cannot
sometimes they use the crooked way. So people, say they don't believe in the system. Well, why don't you go and jump in the system?
Right.
Everybody can.
Let me jump
Canada, how old are you? I know the other guy's a little bit older than me. How old are you, Canada? Sorry for saying that. Yeah, how old are you?
Kenny,
about like 34?
No, I'm 37.
You up there. All right, you sound younger.
Yeah, but
do you know what community is? Community used to be an extension of family.
Yeah. Well,
family, they have taken the word family and turned that into some upside down bullshit. Now they talking socialism bullcrap. When at the end of the day, if I got chickens and I got an egg
and you got a pig, we gonna trade some Canadian bacon and fucking eggs, man.
Well, I
You know
got
what I
maple
mean?
syrup, man,
Now
that you
that's
can
called
flavor your egg
socialism,
with,
though. We don't need that.
right? Yeah, with that, and that's one thing, like we're so close to each other, and we have to work together.
Yes,
And
community,
those
community.
people that come in our country don't have that community value. They don't have
Nah.
a land here. They don't have a
Well,
family
some
here. They
do,
don't have
but it's in a
history.
different.
Yeah,
It's some do. It's in a different language, though.
but
It's in a
like
different
here in
language, though.
Canada, we're welcome diversity just like you guys do, but it has to be moderate. You can't just force
Well,
it
yeah.
into our
When in
throat.
Rome, act like you in Rome. You know what I mean? That's the difference. That's what
And
Americans
what we're
do.
seeing in Aurora right now, that's just the consequences of over immigration. It
Hey,
is
if
doomed to
you and I
happen.
went, if me and you took a trip to Japan right now, we would bow to everybody, even though we're
Yeah.
not Japanese. You
Or
understand?
we get beat up.
No, we wouldn't need to worry about getting beat up because we would be
No, but if
respectful.
we misbehave, we get beat up in
Now,
any country.
listen,
Can I
miss
interject
that. What I'm
that
telling you,
actually
Hi,
me and
Ashley.
you would
he
not
has a
have to worry
point.
about
He has a
that
point that
because
you have to bow, but a lot of people don't know that you
it's just
do not
cultural.
show the inside of your hand to a
Listen,
person in
jitty up, sir.
Japan
Hold
because
on.
they find it
Jitty up,
disrespectful.
sir. Jitty up, sir.
Hold on, Roca. Let
Jitty
her
up,
speak.
sir. My,
Roca,
my, my
Roca,
kids are half
Roca, Roca.
Cambodian.
Mute his ass, please. Come on now.
I'll shut up. I'm
Come on
sorry.
now.
Truth.
Come on now, please. All right, be respectful to the lady. Let her have the floor, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go on.
Well, I was just saying that a lot of people are not aware of the cultural, difference. When you go to Japan, you don't shake their hand, you bow. It
Mm-hmm.
isn't like serve the servant type of thing. It's a sign of respect that you give a small bow. So a
Very
lot of
much so.
people don't know that. But as someone who does know Kenny, I will say that even though he is Canadian, he is more American than most of the Americans I know. So when you talk about
Thank you.
community and you talk about somebody, who will roll with you and be there for you, like I'm 100% behind Kenny. And
Well, here I'm going to give you a little bit of the mentality of Canadian that people don't like to talk about, right? It's when you come into my house, okay, these are my rules. These are my house, and you're going to respect my rules. And as soon as I step into your home, these are your rules, and this is your house, and I shall respect your rule. And that goes
Amen.
the same thing into your land, and that goes the same thing into your country. If I go to your country, I shall respect your country. If you come in mine, that's the same thing. That's how respect has been lost in today's society.
Respect their culture.
Absolutely, it's a cultural thing. So
When I
I
was
do
exactly
want.
community and culture.
I
when I
just
was
want to
in
remember.
Thank you,
Hold on,
man.
guys. Hold on. I just want to remember the community. It's just when someone is cooking something, let them speak up, and then like try to wait, and then like let them say what they say. I want to invite everybody to come on and speak up. We have the live stream going on to
Yeah.
TruthSlinger account, and we also have the space, so you can
Yeah.
just watch the live stream. And if you want to come and talk to us, you need to come and join the actual space,
Yeah,
I'd like
and
to
I'll
say
put you up.
I
I'd
agree.
like to
And let
apologize
me
to you, Kenny, to Truth, and to the man that was speaking. I've never do this stuff, so I'm
no,
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 that's
sorry.
no,
okay, man.
no.
That's why I prefer set up the rules politely, without
Yes, it's great.
kicking
I
you out or
appreciate it
anything.
very
Yeah,
much. Thank
no,
you very
no,
much. I
no,
apologize. I'm gonna mute me.
no.
Kenny, can I say something?
Yeah, hang on, HG. Just hold your panties. It's just all I want to do is make sure that everybody understands that when you're not talking, mute your mic because we get background noise from people. People are driving, people are doing stuff. So if you're not talking, mute your mic. Learn to use how your mute button because it's going to make it a lot easier for the rest of us to hear. And also, just don't dominate, right? And wait until there's a gap in this in the time, because I don't like to be heavily moderate this thing, but I also don't want to talk on top of each other, right? So like right now, I'm getting some background noise from somebody out there that's got their mic that's not muted and that it should be. I've got good equipment. I can leave my mic open. You can't. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Let's behave, right, and be nice to each other because last night one of the greatest things that people said in here when they came into this space was people weren't yelling at each other and people weren't talking over the top of each other. So I want to keep that energy going, guys.
Hey, Truth, if I can just plug real quick, I know it's probably been said before, but just if you're in the space, we could really use more perspective. So please repost and share the space wherever you guys can. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, that also if you want to participate in the chat, go over to the X feed at TruthSlinger X at TruthSlinger X. And the current feed should be pinned at the top, so you'll see the live stream, and you can go in there, and then you can leave a chat, and you can talk to me. So if you're a little mic shy, you can talk to me offline, and I can read your comments, and I can get you in there the other way, right? So we got like Bob here in the UK. They want mass deportations, he says. Patriots football hooligans here in the UK rioted against the illegals, mass immigration, and two-tiered policing. So yeah, definitely, UK, we're trying to get some folks over there keeping an eye on what the hell's going on because they're ahead of us. And it's getting ugly over there as well. There's a lot of problems with the migrants over there.
And I just want to point out that we started today a Discord channel, and I'm going to do something special tonight because it's just a work in progress. I'm going to send out a link that's going to be a short expiration. It's going to be sent in chat and only one. And anybody that wants to join in the Discord and be a part of the beginning would be more than welcome, but it's only going to be temporary until we open it up to the whole public. So stay tuned for when you see a Discord link pop up. That's the TruthSlinger Network. You'll be the first one in, but it's for a limited time only. After that, you'll be locked out until we open it to the public.
That's right. You're going to be special. You're going to be OG TruthSlinger Army, right? You want that. You want that.
Hell yeah.
All right. All right. Who wants to step up and take the floor for a few minutes?
I got you.
I'm bringing speaking up. Christopher, take the floor a little bit.
Yeah, man, not a problem. I things that are actually happening live time. I put them in the X conversation there underneath TruthSlinger. If he wants to share it here and in the space, that's awesome. But they are happening live time. One is a chapter that's writing out of South Carolina. The other one was a chapter that was riding up from Colorado, caught on a dash cam by a trucker. The convoy went on about 12 minutes. Any of you who have ridden in a bike in a column from front to back, 12 minutes of bikes going by is a lot of bikes. And I haven't seen or heard anything definite about Sons of Silence yet. I've rode with the Sons before, and considering they are actually in Denver, not hearing anything from them is actually way more ominous than anything you're hearing from any of the other groups.
So like I said, if it wasn't true, they would have jumped in and said, "Hey, we're not doing this," because I don't think they want any bad heat on them, right?
They don't want anybody to know what they're doing. Whereas the Angels are coming more for publicity, and the Mongols are coming. They're not going to let the Angels get publicity they can't get in on. Is anybody who knows the circle? They don't get along, so they're not going to allow one another to get press over the other. So that's more publicity between the Angels and Mongols. But the Sons staying as silent as they are right now, that's the one to watch out for. That's the one to be cautious, and anything and everything you can find that's current on them, any sightings, that would be what I paid most attention to.
All right, so we have a lot of speakers up. I'm just going to ask if you have a story or something and somebody speaking, just raise your hand quick. So we don't speak over each other, and I'm going to send you the mic. It's a hot subject right now. So if anybody has anything to say quick, we'll start with, actually, hold on. So I'm gonna keep muting people that overspeak. So Raka, you want to mute your mic?
My bad. I thought it was muted. I'm sorry.
No worries, man. So we don't speak over. So we'll go ahead, Ashley.
Okay, so I just wanted to correct something that was mentioned earlier. Is that a lot of people are not aware that this is not an isolated situation. From what I am understanding, there are, just outrageous events going on in New York and also in Chicago. The police really they don't have control of Chicago at this point. and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I guess that they're planning on sending in more police officers, because at this point, I don't think that we're ready.
Not trying to overspeak, but if anyone's speaking, I can't hear it on my end.
Can anyone else hear me?
I can hear you. Maybe
I can
you
hear
need to
you.
get up. Maybe
I
you
hear
need to
you.
leave and come back. Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, sometimes you got to cycle back. But so the thing is, this is happening in Chicago. It is happening in New York. This is not just happening in Colorado. And because of our administration and our wonderful government, the military has not yet been called in because of, the administration. And because of the news, that's why you guys haven't heard about these things. And I mean, it's really sad when you have to fight for the truth and find out what's really going on. But I'm constantly listening to these underground channels. And yes, it is definitely happening in some of the larger areas. And I do expect it to start happening soon in probably San Diego and Los Angeles. And closer to those border towns where you're looking at California and like El Paso, because they are still
Someone
trying
is
to get
breathing
through the
in your
border
mic.
and it's still out of control.
Well,
I
and I
mean,
would just
the
add,
mainstream media isn't going to tell you that, but I'm telling you it's true.
So illegal migrants have already taken over, housing and buildings in many of these cities from the government, right? I mean, the government has taken low-income housing complexes and gifted them essentially to illegal migrants. So what's happened in Colorado is just an escalation of that. I think all these illegal migrants, illegal immigrants, they need to get enough time to be comfortable. And then once they acquire weapons, I expect to see the same thing in most major cities.
Well, that's one thing I want to add up. Like one thing people don't realize, it's the government are paying for these migrants to stay in hotels, which are not supervised. People that say that are seeing stuff in the hotels, people having sex in the stairs, getting high and stuff like that. So it's just, hell of a show. So how can we confirm that there's no weapons back, in those? I would like to give the mic now to Val, and then we'll go back to Christopher. Mike.
Yeah, thanks. Can you hear me okay? Sound check.
Yep.
Hey, guys, hang on a second. Let me jump in here real quick. Make sure you be hitting that like, notify, all that kind of stuff you're supposed to do. Make sure you be spreading this message. I want you to tell other people about what's going on here. And I want you to let people know that we got this spaces going on and we're talking about important issues, right? So we want to keep this going. I really like when somebody said, we got these underground channels going on. TruthSlinger News Network is something that is actually a network that is produced by people like you, and that's also financial, but it's also by research and all the information and people flocking to our spaces to share what they know. So let's keep it going.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to speak. Earlier, I don't know what was discussed before I came in, but earlier I saw HAs out of Nebraska saying that there were no HAs on the way to Colorado, or at least Aurora. And then I saw another post that there was a motorcycle rally at the Four Corners, so maybe that could be mistaken. But that's just my idea, because the video was a motorcycle club. Obviously, they're wearing their colors.
We got confirmation. I don't want you to go on too further, but we got somebody that's in Aurora, Colorado, or that has knowledge that's been telling us that there is something going on and that they are headed there, but it's more of a publicity issue. And the also the other gang that's been going over there, what are they, the Mongols? That's also a little bit of a political issue, but that indeed there seems to be something afoot. So it's more to it than just conjecture at this point. Yeah,
the Angels and the Mongols are riding in for publicity, and they won't be wearing colors in most cases. Because they don't want the club to be identified with what they're there to do. The group to be on the watch for, the ones that will come in much after dark, and probably with ill intent, are going to be the Sons of Silence. They are actually stationed in Denver. That's where their home club is, and they're waiting for the rest of the chapters to come in from Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota along the way. So they won't be there till after dark. Everybody you're seeing riding in now are riding in without colors for the most part, or patches. So they're not representing the club; they're just showing up in force, and it is mostly publicity.
And let's remind ourselves that this is a show of patriotism to a best. I think I don't want to promote criminality or anything, but these men are there. I've heard a lot of instances where biker clubs will stand for the community. Uh, you know, and then it's. I remember the day when I was a child, and I saw the bikers back here in Quebec. They had the right to have their cut on until they broke down. And it was a sight every time to see those bikes. It was impressive. And I wasn't scared as a kid. Of the bikers. I never was. Like they wave at me. And they were nice with us. Like they respect us. Now I see videos of people. Here in Canada that are Palestinian protesters, screaming at children's, or stuff like that. We see, the gay parades, naked people in front of children in the streets, and then you see stuff like that. I mean, like we gotta come to an end somehow. We gotta protect the kid.
Before we go on, Crow, I'm a patriot and I'm a felon. And my president, my next president, is a patriot and he's a felon. Okay? I don't subscribe to the laws of the United States if they're not just, okay? And we are in a situation now where we're talking about we're going to have to start making some decisions. Okay, you can follow the rules, you can follow the laws, but the question is did we vote for those laws? Did we really? I mean, it's pretty a fundamental question, right?
Well, I mean, to that point, you have entire generations of lawmakers that have created laws with things like special interest and lobby and all of that stuff, which has just led to it becoming an absolute abomination. So,
hold on, Spencer, hold on. Like, people have their hands up first. Raise your hand if you want. I'm just going to mute everyone right now because I got some background noise. So check your mics if you're a speaker. Make sure you don't breathe in the mic while someone else is speaking. We have a newcomer, Hard Corpse. I'm going to go with him and then we'll go with Righteous. Hard Corpse, welcome on the floor. What you got for us tonight?
Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me up. I won't tell you the patch club I'm in because I can't, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Patches don't go anywhere without their patches.
True that.
Oh, that's true.
I hear that. Hear that.
I've been, our club's been sanctioned by the Hells Angels. So we don't go anywhere without our patch when we ride together.
All our respect to you guys, and I hope we're not using the name Hells Angels in there for anything. We're trying to speak up, the truth, and we want people to come up and tell us, what the media doesn't tell us. We're tired of being lied to, and we appreciate the patriotism and all the protection you guys can encounter and give us. Thank you very much. Like, I'm not in the United States myself, but I know that if you guys fall, we fall.
All right, we got to have standing up and taking the mic for a minute. Hello.
Righteous, your turn.
Mr. Indignation, please take the mic. We might have lost him.
Perhaps. Ashley, you got something?
Hey.
Sound of silence.
Hey, Roca.
No, hey, I just wanted to point out real quick, like, while there was a moment of silence, that, people need to also realize that the people of the country do not stand for the government, okay? Just like Americans do not really stand, I mean, we're not identified by Biden, okay? But
oh dear,
what they've gone through in a lot of other countries, including Canada, like, we already have seen all of these other countries fall. Well, Canada hasn't necessarily, fallen,
Well,
We've seen
I'm
what's
just going to
happened with their
correct you here.
politics.
I'm
With
going
the
to correct you
politics.
here a second. Canada, the streets of Canada are no longer safe because we lost. Like I'm going to be honest with you. When the bikers were in control, we had less criminality in our street and less drugs. Well, where I grew up, we didn't have meth addicts. We didn't have crack. And there was none of this where I'm from. Now it's spreading all over, and it's not. It's the people that have no patriotism and doesn't care about hurting communities that do that, and it saddens me because we got to a point where even in the newspaper, we got the police that go and talk to the bikers and tell them to keep a look on the gangs because the police cannot take all the work. They can't do all the work on the criminality that's going on in the street.
But they should be able to, and that's the problem. Is that when there is a problem in the breakdown in society where people don't trust the police, that they can do or will do the job to protect the people, which is their primary purpose, then what happens is other people have to step in to do it. And so that's a problem, right? And this is where Hugo said, like, is this a good idea? I know we're all hungering for it. I know it all feels good. But you know what? January 6th felt good. And look where the fuck we're at right now.
Yeah, but they made it. They made it like they did. That's what it's not the people. I will keep saying it. People just want to get up in the morning, go to work, feed their kids, come home at night, have a beer, and relax. It's the main thing that people want to do. And these people that sometimes come in the country don't have that sense of patriotism.
We can't do that if those that are supposed to serve us are not protecting our interests. I'll shut up now.
No, you're right though.
So I got a comment. Hey.
But Christopher had got his hand up, and then we have our friend D Miller that just joined us and probably going to have something to say after. Let's go, Chris.
I just want to interject. We have a comment from YouTube coming. Red Winnett says, is the title of your show today truly true? And I said, yes, it is. And he said, goodbye. I didn't tune in to listen about Canada. So I just wanted to say to Red,
wow,
fuck you and goodbye.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry for him that he feels this way, and I really don't take it offensive. But, if he thinks that way, like not everybody looks like fucking Trudeau. We all tell Trudeau to go fuck himself, and we all waited for him to get out.
Thank you. Yo, Kenny, I'm glad I got to hear you today. I'm sorry. I know I butt in every now and then. I'm going to stop, but TruthSlinger, you're the best. The other guy, Unica, he runs for Maine a lot. The Unica, he's on our things that we follow on X. You guys are great. And it's wonderful to hear Kenny Crow from Canada. I love it. And Miss Righteous Indigenous.
It's a righteous indignation, but yes.
Yeah, and then there's another lady that Truth followed her in a story. Her name is Maine Libertarian or something like that.
Oh yeah,
that's
Jamie. She's awesome.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Man, I apologize again. I don't do this a lot. I'm a single father. I talk to my dogs and my cats when my kids ain't listening. And the walls if they're listening.
Listen, we are happy to have you here, and do not feel chastised,
dude. You are Maine's Joe Rogan. I love you to death.
Yeah.
Yes, you are,
all
bro.
Right, baby,
you are.
man. Let's. I got something for that, right? Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, that's the main black man right there.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Exciting. Thank you very much.
I'll be quiet now, though. I just wanted to say that in case I get disconnected because my children are going to be coming home soon. So I love you guys.
Yeah,
You're
man.
Awesome. I apologize for the language and the interjection.
I just want to tell you, man. I give you 200% respect, man. You're a single dad, man, that takes care of your kids, man. You are what a man is, man.
That's
like
right.
That's his regular.
Yeah, man.
TruthSlinger, his name shouldn't be the truth. His name should be John, because this is what we do, is talk the truth.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Love you all.
Yeah, man.
Listen.
Love you too. Keep hanging out, man. We enjoy you, and I'm telling you something. Everybody that thinks, I'm scared, I don't want to get involved. What are the rules? Hey, man, we got some rules, but you know what? We're not going to kill you if you break them, and we'll just set you straight. And as long as you're grown up and you can learn how to fucking take a little bit of correction, then you're welcome here, right? So let's keep going with this, man. I'm digging the vibe. I'm loving it.
I want to throw something out there real quick. Anarcho-tyranny tone. I'll say it again, anarcho-tyranny tone. It's a system of government that fails to enforce the law while simultaneously persecuting the good Samaritans who try to enforce it themselves. Sounds kind of like what we're dealing with.
Can you repeat what it is?
Anarcho-tyranny tone. And it's a system of government that fails to enforce the law while simultaneously persecuting good Samaritans who try to enforce it themselves. So basically, Daniel Penny, basically.
Yeah, as soon as you grab a gun to protect your front lawn, you get the guns taken away and thrown in jail, and the criminals are let loose. Yeah, so that's what pretty much you said, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, that guy on the subway that choked that guy out and he died, and he's sitting in prison.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly the point there, right? And then the McCloskeys, right? I mean, you could pretty much wipe your ass with the Constitution. If you can't defend yourself, you don't get thrown in jail, right?
Well, you saw the New York Times thing where they said that, the Constitution's going a little too far and it's dangerous now, so...
Well, yeah, we would want the Constitution ruling the government that's been defined by the Constitution for 200 years. That's silly.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Blows my mind that we're even having this conversation, but here we are.
And here we are, right? So how the hell do we get out of where we are? I'm open to any ideas that you got out there, guys.
Looks like Chris has his hand up.
Wake up in the morning and
then,
think of something happy.
And then we have D. Miller that popped in too. I'd like to hear from D.
Okay, so twofold here. The first thing is let's play this out in War Game this evening in the next 24 hours and what the possible outcomes could be. And then the second thing, how do we get ourselves out of it? The first thing is over the next 24 hours, if the riders who are coming in, if the clubs who are coming in, if they're coming as a show of force, they're coming as a show of support for local law enforcement, they're coming to set up a perimeter so that way these Venezuelans can't just slip through the cracks and get away in the middle of the night. Whatever reason they're coming for, let's just say that they get them out of the apartments and somehow or another get them on down the road. Has anyone heard any word that ICE is waiting?
Oh, they're not going to do anything.
So they just slip through the cracks and they get on down the road and then they reconnoiter and they wait for everybody to leave, give it a good hot minute, say a week, maybe two, come back and start all over again. Then do we come back and show force?
Yeah.
Or do we allow the evening to proceed and wait until darkness settles and let the boys who are rowdy be rowdy?
Yeah, take care of the problem. That's what I say, because you're just going to chase them out of the road. But just as my 2 cents.
And I'm not for violence whenever innocent citizens are around. But between now and darkness, there's plenty of way for, anybody who's been locked up like I have or apparently Truth has. There's plenty of ways.
Most of us probably have.
There's plenty of ways to fly a kite and get a message to people. And
listen, man, America was formed off of people sometimes taking the law into their own hands. This is America, goddammit.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're going to have to get word to some of the innocent bystanders. We need them to take cover at so-and-so time. And then we let the boys who are brothers of mayhem go in and create mayhem. Now,
I just on a note here, I did get in touch with our friend from Lafayette, Joshua, I think his name was. That's a local there in Aurora, so we might hear from him later.
Outstanding. Then the second question I believe that TruthSlinger put out there was, how do we get out of this? And I believe that the onus definitely is on citizens becoming not just vigilant, but vocal from day one. Instead of allowing this to happen and then crying for help once it's this late, we need to empower all of our citizens and show them, maybe this is the instance where we show everybody that if you cry for help, there's obviously a need for help. There's illegals on your front door keeping you from getting groceries, taking your food stamp money, taking your Social Security check, whatever the case may be. These banditos are in here enforcing their will. Then there is a process that we will come and enforce our will. And we need not to be scared of it, and we need not to be afraid to have to duck and dodge, and those citizens need not to be afraid to ask for it.
This
And
is
hopefully that's what comes out of this.
that's absolutely a great point you have there, Christopher. Like honestly, like yes, like I said, we're not inciting to violence, and we're not saying that they're going there to be violent. But this is a very great point. These people are vets, in the most part. They know what it is to take, to take over, an area and just make sure they don't nobody go across. That's right. These people, this Venezuelan, these people need to eat. They're gonna need to do their things, right? You stop them to go out to get food, then they won't. They'll last 3 days.
I think what's going on here is there's going to be more. I think it's going to be more strategic than everybody thinks it is. I
think it's a blockade.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a blockade, right? And that's the way to deal with this stuff. Nothing comes in, nothing comes out. Let's see if anybody else wants to take the floor. Why don't you take that, Crow, and get somebody up there?
Once D. Miller, you had your ends up for a while. I guess you're tired now. Let's go. What do you have for us, D? Welcome to the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Just three things technically. First one is, it's something my grandfather always taught me, and I live by it, is if you desire peace, first prepare for war. You can't ever depend upon, things to just be happy and be okay. You have to first prepare for war if you desire peace. That way you can enforce peace simply by that preparation. The second principle is that every person is responsible for their own safety, their own security, their own success, their own happiness, and unless they give that away. And unfortunately, the majority of Americans have given that away to the government. That leads to the third principle, that is, tyrants and patriots, with rare exception, rule only through consent of the people. The majority of the people, when the body of the people choose to, either through silent consent or through open participation, support a tyrant or a tyrannical government, that is how they stay in power. And the only way for that to be thrown off is for the people, through either a en masse principle of a morality shift or through violence, and that has happened, that is shown throughout history. Those are the only two ways that a tyrannical government is overthrown, and that people are put into place as stewards for their protection of their rights, is either through a moral shift, a principle shift across the whole base of the people, of the population of that country, empire, whatever you want to call it, or through violence. So, land my plane.
Well, good landing. I want to ask, and I want to invite Hugo if he's still in the room, because, Hugo has been in my ear for a few weeks now, and Hugo's a friend of mine. And Hugo thinks that if we put the right pressure on the right politicians, we're going to be able to squeeze their fucking nuts and get this thing figured out. What say you guys? And Hugo, come back up if you want to talk about that, right? Defend yourself a little bit.
Meanwhile, we should give the floor to Hard Corpse, and then we'll go back to Christopher. Hard Corpse, what's up, man?
There's another scenario on why, if and when they're going to Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, and I put it up in the nest. If anybody wants to watch it, it's pretty short, but in short, it's just somebody messed with either an angel's friend, family, or an angel themselves. That would be my guess on why they're going there.
Well, I've seen through the vines some information that will confirm what you said. That some people that are in the area have asked some help. You know that they are not feeling safe anymore, and this is getting out of control, and the kids cannot go home to school still feeling safe. So yeah, like I mean, patriotism was going to do his thing, right, Christopher? You still there, Christopher? Or did you have a little connection issue?
Whoa. We got dead
Nope.
space. Can't have dead
I really
air.
liked. I just want to point out too, D. Miller. What she said was really powerful. I really liked what she said, and Hard Cups too. If there's anything that America needs right now, is strong men and strong, smart men. You know, like I'm lost for words almost. You know, it just scares me for those people out there. You know, I just can't imagine how it is to like have you just living across a building like this. How can it be? You know, like you're just scared, and you're gonna be next. I think Christopher just got back up. You want to take the floor here, Chris?
My bad. I had to step away there for a second. I just wanted to follow up on what being a TruthSlinger we're talking about there. I think that the method to the madness here, or the strategy that's going to be used, and hopefully the law enforcement in the area either help in their way, or as far as taking care of the citizens who live inside the building, or stay out of the way. And I think it's going to be a blockade situation or a siege, not so much with the attack part of it, but where they're going to not allow anything in and not allow anybody out unless they get cuffed. I think that that's going to be what we see go down, especially as sundown approaches out there. The darker it gets, the more these guys are probably going to get brave. And unfortunately, for any of our guys and any of the law enforcement there that are just doing their job, they're probably going to have a few cheap shots taken at them. And at that point, cooler heads definitely need to prevail, and because we cannot go in mass and have a crazy Waco-like moment with all of those innocent civilians in there. So we have to hope that everybody keeps their cool and doesn't return fire, or that there are sniper units that are there that haven't been announced yet. That would be ideal, because these guys are definitely going to take cheap shots because they are not afraid. That's that's their mentality. They're not scared of the government. They're not scared of authority. They prey on weakness, but they are not opposed to showing strength. That's what these guys do. That's what they did in Venezuela. That's why they were sent here. These are guys that were sent. These are some of the guys that Trump talks about, that they were released from prison and they were told, go to America, and if you come back, we're going to kill you.
The bad hombres.
Yeah, these are, not the baddest of the bad, but they're up there.
Contributions from viewers like you.
Whoops.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. I hit the wrong damn button, guys. Sorry.
You're fired. Go home.
Hey,
shit.
Truth, real quick. Can you have Christopher and Dr. D. Miller on your cast?
Yeah, man. I'm looking.
Oh,
I'm
man.
looking-
From
I'm
what
look-
D. Miller said and then how Christopher broke it down is, oh, man.
By the way,
And then you, Kenny Crow, or I don't know, you got two people on there. Captain Canadian, whatever it is. I love you. You guys are awesome. Okay, I'm going back to mute. Bye-bye.
Well, TruthSlinger X is a big project, right? We got lots of things under the umbrella, and one of the things is we are interviewing lots of people. So anybody wants to interview, I'm going to post the link right to my TruthSlinger X page at TruthSlinger X, and you just get in there, man. If you want an appointment, you want to come talk on camera, right? And not only that, if the talk goes well, if you want your own podcast, right? I produce right from the woods of Central Maine for free because I seek to try to replicate myself. That's what I'm trying to do. And you know what? If you want to give me some donations along the line and keep this network going, that's awesome, which is why I tried to play the thing that says this is supported by viewers like you. But not just money. We're supported by everything that you guys do. The chat that you do, the forwarding that you do, bringing people in to these discussions, man, that is all support from folks like you. So we thank you very much.
Outstanding.
I don't know. I see your live as dark for me. I don't know what's going on since you put the thing there. Your commercial. I think your stream went down.
Oh, sorry.